Hello everyone, Magdalena here, Wealth of Coins. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I will make a flip through of a deck that I have shown on my channel before, but people keep asking me about it, so I thought I will just make a separate video where I show all the cards so you can just see. And this is the original box I got the deck in. So the author is Aleksandra Jaśniak. It's a Polish tarot. The English name for this deck is Polish Tarot or Jaśniak Tarot. Jaśniak for the author's name. And the illustrations are also, it's here, okay. Anna Gałuszka made the illustrations. So this deck is my first deck ever, and I think I bought it around 20 years ago when I was still quite a young person. And it was the set of a book, all in Polish. And yeah, and the cards were here, but obviously I don't keep them here. I have just these two spare ones. And for everyday use, I keep the deck in these beautiful bags, which is a Baba Studio bag. And I'm always laughing about how I don't have any Baba Studio deck, but I do have two of their pouches, so it is pretty funny. But anyway, I love Arthur Rackham's illustrations, and this is just gorgeous. So I keep this deck here, and you know, it's my first deck ever. I was like 12 or 13 when I bought it, so for me it was so exciting. This is, yeah, so it has a really special place in my heart. The bags are reversible. It's AG for the author's initials. And yeah, as I said, these cards are over 20 years old. This book has been published in 1996, but I suspect that it might be even older because I've seen it around with a different cover. Anyway, I etched this in gold because I thought it would be nice. And yeah, and you can see, even though I etched it, it's already, you know, the edges are, can you see? Yeah. It's an old deck. So it's been created in the first half of the 90s, and it certainly has this vibe of those times. So yeah, the colors are crazy, and if I were to look at it today for the first time, I'm not sure I would love it so much because the colors, but you know, people have different tastes. So anyway, I really love this deck. But let's start. Let's start with the Fool. He is, yeah, insane. Look at this hairstyle. And all the cards are color coded. So majors have this blue. They have these like zodiac signs around. There are two languages, English and Polish, and number here. And yeah, it's gold around. So these are the majors, and you will see that others, like the suits, have different colors. But yeah, this is the Magician. So the majors are a little bit like Tarot de Marseille, a little bit like Rider-Waite-Smith. He has here like symbols of all suits, and you can clearly see it's a Polish deck because it has an eagle, like it's our Polish crest, and it appears on all of our coins. So yeah, it's a Polish coin. Then, oh, I always was so fascinated by this mysterious high priestess. And she has a candle, which is interesting, and she looks a bit, I don't know, Egyptian maybe? But still, look at this like abstract clothes. Is it wings? Is it not wings? What's that? But definitely she has the moon here. So next up, this is the Empress, and goodness, how I love this card. She has this outfit that women in ancient Crete wore, you know, that the boobs are out. Like it's a corset, but only for under the boobs. I don't know, I just like it. I love that she has this egg here. She's not pregnant like many empresses tend to be, but there's this potential of her, okay? And I don't know, I just love these tiny little feet on the pillow, just poking out of her huge skirt. It's just so crazy. This design is just crazy, funky. Then we have the Emperor. Then it's the Hierophant. He has like two fishes here and a book. Yeah, he has a book. And he's preaching, see? Then the Lovers. So the Lovers here are more like Tarot de Marseille in a way that we have three people here and we have another woman. Then there is the Chariot with a really serious looking guy. Then, oh yeah, I did that. So yeah, in this deck, Justice and Strength have the Rider-Waite-Smith numbering, but I fixed it because for me, Justice is just 8, okay, for me. So not to be irritated by this number, I just put this here for myself. And yeah, she's blindfolded. She has wings. I love this Hermit card. Look at this grandpa. I love this color, this like pale blue. It's so, I don't know, somehow it looks like, how to put it? It feels like he's very spiritual, okay? At least for me. Then we get the Wheel of Fortune, and this is, yeah, crazy. Is it a Star of Chaos here? Something like that. And then we get Strength, and yeah, it's a guy with the lion, which is not strange if we think about the Visconti deck, where we have Hercules with the lion. And yeah, so this is Strength with a man. Then I always love this card. Look at this happy hanged man. He's like, I'm dangling here, la la la. So yeah, I don't know. He's just fun. Then we have Death. And as Death card warns us, it's there in the book about it. Death warns us about like difficult times coming. So there's this cautious finger here, like be careful. Look at those souls here. Woo. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Then we get Temperance, and it's a beautiful angel. I always loved this card. Then the Devil again with the finger, like warning. Be careful. And yeah, and I love this Devil. When I was a kid, I was a bit scared of it because, the devil. But later on, I just learned to really like him. And like in Tarot de Marseille, he has his tongue out. He or she or them. And look at those feet. Cute and black wings of the fallen angel. Then the tower, pretty expressive. And then the star. I love this star. It's so, those colors are so soothing. I love all those blues and teals with yellow. It just, oh my goodness, I love it. Then we have the moon. And it took me some time to see that there are wolves howling here. Can you see it? Can you see it? Yeah. And as the moon is male in Polish, we get this male face here. And then the sun is a couple, which also happens in traditional decks, like for example, the Soprafino Tarot. There is a dancing couple there. Happy, happy sun. Then there is Judgment of purple people. And the world. The world. And then we go, oh, I didn't mention, but yeah, it is a pip deck. So if it's a turn off for you, well, you won't probably enjoy this deck too much, but yeah, I do enjoy it. And it's not Tarot de Marseille. The symbols are not arranged in the Tarot de Marseille tradition. They are just, yeah, their own thing. So we get the number here, we get us, which is ace, and there we go with the wands. The wands are green. See that there's the code for wands is green. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm not commenting on people here so I can go faster. But I always loved those wands. I don't know. I think there's a lot of nostalgia in me regarding this deck, but yeah, I like them. Green wands. And there are various interesting shapes here. It looks like a snake here. There is this, I don't know, like flower shaped thing, little darts here. It can all, you know, add to your reading. And there's the 10. And now the court cards. I love the court cards in this deck. Just so, even though if it's a bit messed up, because with the names, I love this shoe, this boot. Oh. So we get, in English it's knights, it's okay, but in Polish it got named valet, which is valet, which in Tarot de Marseille is a page, which is confusing. But it's also the name we use for playing cards. For the jack is valet. So I guess that's how it got like that. And all of the knights are somehow masked. They are, you know, armed and masked. I find it interesting. There's the queen. She looks completely like a fairy queen here, doesn't she? And then the king. They are all very different. Each court card is really different from others. Easily recognizable. And then there are cups. And here we go. Can you see there are faces here? It also took me a bit of time to see faces here, you know, they are chatting. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then a crazy page of cups. Yeah, look at those tights. Woo! Yeah, the Knight of Cups is with a snake. And he has the cup on his head. I mean, come on. Seriously. Also, those wings, they kind of remind me of the Polish hussars, who were famous for attaching wings to their armor. So the wings would make noise that would scare horses of the enemy that were not used to this noise. Anyway, there is the Queen of Cups. Look at her. Crazy. And the King of Cups. He's got gloves. He does. Then coins. Oh yeah, and cups are red. Like emotions can get really hot. And then brown is for coins, for material things. And it even says the Republic of Poland here, you know. Because I read an interview with the author, and she said she moved to the United States, I don't know, in the 80s, 70s, something like that. And people were coming to her for card readings. I don't know if it was tarot, maybe tarot readings. And she wanted to create a deck for the Polish community there in the States, because there was no Polish tarot back then. So that's why she created it, basically. So this is our 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there are some, like there's Janus, for example, the Roman god. This looks a bit like Mithra. There are some texts in Greek too, so they're made into, yeah, various coins. There's a bee. And then the quartz. So Page of Pentacles. Even though in English it's pentacles, in Polish it's coins. Monety are coins. Because obviously you have no pentacle here. Yeah, he's so energetic. And again, the knight is has his face covered. Then the queen, she's so serene. And she has a scroll here. Like in this deck, you get all those details, sometimes unexpected, and they can also add to your reading, I guess. She reminds me a little bit of the Empress with, you know, the Empress had the egg. She was sitting like this too. But of course, all the queens have something to do with the Empress. And the very scary Bluebeard King of Coins. Like, whoa, this is scary, man. And lastly, swords. Ace, 2, 3. So, you know, with pip decks, you're not trapped in the image of like the heart being pierced with swords. I will also talk a little bit about the book and what it says about this card specifically. But yeah, so it's, you know, pip decks are freeing like that. It doesn't have to mean anything, something bad necessarily. 5. And again, snake. There are many snakes slithering in this deck, here and there. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And Look at those flowers. And yeah, and swords are purple. Purple coated. And yeah, he looks like a little bit like Hercules with this. Well, it's not a lion skin, but... And then the queen. She's pretty cool, I'd say. The hairstyle, I mean, really, wow. And the king. He's also pretty scary. But I don't know, the king of coins is the most scary for me. So this is it. This is a flip through. And about the book, well, sadly, it's only in Polish. We have the strength card on the cover. And yeah, this is the book I was learning from. You can still see my pencil markings here. And we have card. And what is interesting here, the author, well, she gives you like the description of the card, and then she gives you meanings for the card when it's at the beginning of the spread, in the middle, at the end, and reversed, which is a bit weird because she also shows you the Celtic cross, which is hard to, you know, say it's anything is in the middle. Almost everything is in the middle, but anyway, this is how it's done here in the book. And then we go to minors. And what do we have here? So there is the method for determining time using the minor arcana. So Ace of Wands would mean September, October, November, and so on, like 3 months each. Then the chords can tell you about the time. We have elements, element correspondences for the suit. So the cup is water, the coin is earth, the sword is air, and the wand is fire. Nothing surprising here. What else? Yeah, what the suits mean in general, what they are connected to, and then we get like short interpretations for each card in upright and reversed position for every card of the minors. And I have the 3 of swords here, and yeah, the meaning has nothing to do with heartbreak. I get the feeling that those meanings are kind of like a cartomancy style, because it says here 3 of swords, the end of period of fear and suffering. For example, the suffering after losing someone dear to you. Also, you need to visit a doctor or do some kind of little, not a surgery, no, something small. So for me, it was so, when I was starting with this book, it was also unconnected to each other. Like, what does it have to do? There was no system laid out here. They were just meaning that you should learn by heart. And for me, it was not working. But yeah, from this other point of view, like if it's cartomancy based, like playing cards based, it's very interesting, to be honest. Then we get some more here. Like spreads, how you do that, how you like prepare your deck, your shuffling, stuff like that. Then how to use a significator, so how you determine who's who your querent is in the deck according to when they were born, so their zodiac sign. and their age too. Then there's a different method too, that you use according to how they look. So, you know, it's a Polish deck, so we have, like, in cards, like this card means it's a blonde woman, or this card means it's a brunette, or this card means it's a redhead, something like that. So this is, yeah, dark blonde, and age older, younger. So the king, of course, will be older. The pages can symbolize both men and women, and yeah, this is quite detailed here. Then how to do spreads. And actually the author made also another deck. This one is older, and it's a black and white deck. I don't have it. So yeah, there are some spreads like past, present, future, Celtic cross, and examples how to interpret, like, yeah, how we could interpret a reading. And other, like, this is fun. This is like, you need the full name of somebody, and then, yeah, it's what you need to count how many letters in the name, first and last name are, then pull cards for each. And yeah, the first name is present, and the future, and the last name is future, and so on. Yeah, there are various topics. Okay, we have spreads here. Okay, then we also have majors that can quickly answer our questions. So we have interpretation for a major in 5 like categories: health, feelings, finances, work, family. And each major can tell you something about those 5. So yeah, we get that. So of course, if you speak Polish, it will be interesting for you. If you don't, well, it's just for curiosity's sake. And that is it. That is it. So I hope you've enjoyed this, this little curious deck of mine. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a lovely day. Bye!